You're smart. You know you are. You've read the books on investing. You understand compound interest. You know what side hustles are. You've probably watched 100 videos on personal finance. You get it. You understand the concept. So why are you still broke? Don't say it's because you're dumb. That's not it. If anything, the fact that you're smart makes this worse, because you know better and you're still doing nothing. That gap between what you know and what you actually do, that's your real problem. And once you see it, you'll either fix it or stay poor forever. But before I tell you what it is, let me be clear about something. I'm not going to tell you to just invest or start a business. You already know that. You've heard it 1,000 times. You don't need more information. You need something else entirely. See, there's this thing called the knowledge trap, and smart people fall into it all the time. You think that knowing something means you've solved it. You read about investing, so you feel like you've done something productive. You watch a video about side hustles, and suddenly you feel like you're on your way. But you haven't actually done anything. You've just made yourself feel better about doing nothing. Knowledge feels like action when you're consuming it. Your brain gets the dopamine hit. You think you're progressing, but you're not. You're just collecting information while staying exactly where you are. Here's the thing, though. The real problem isn't the knowledge gap. It's something darker. It's fear. But you don't want to call it that, because fear sounds weak. So you dress it up as something else. You call it perfectionism. You call it waiting for the right time. You call it needing to learn more before you start. But it's just fear in a suit. You're afraid of losing money. You're afraid of looking stupid. You're afraid of failing publicly. So you stay in the planning phase forever. You optimize and research and learn because that feels safe. You can't fail if you never actually try. And here's what's genius about it. You can feel productive while you're doing nothing. You get to be smart and safe at the same time. You get to tell yourself you're working on it without any of the actual risk. It's the perfect trap because it lets your ego stay intact. But let's talk about why this happens in the first place. It's comfort. You're broke, but you're comfortable being broke. You know how to be broke. You know what to expect. There's no surprise there. Getting rich? That's unknown. That's unpredictable. That's scary. There's also status quo bias. Your brain prefers what it knows, even if what it knows is suffering. Changing your financial situation would require disrupting your entire routine, your habits, maybe even your identity. That's a lot of discomfort for a reward you haven't experienced yet. And then there's risk aversion. Smart people tend to be risk averse because they think through all the ways something can go wrong. They see the potential losses vividly. What they don't see as clearly is the cost of inaction. So let's talk about that. The cost of staying broke while you're smart enough to not be broke. It's not just money. It's time. It's freedom. It's options. Every year you wait, every month you delay, you're losing compound growth. Not just in money, in your life. You're staying dependent on a job you probably hate. You're avoiding conversations about money because you're embarrassed. You're watching other people move forward while you're stuck optimizing your research strategy. The cost is massive, but because it's invisible, you ignore it. Here's the hard truth. You don't actually want to be rich. Not yet. Because wanting something means you have to do something about it. And doing something means risking something. Right now, you want to be rich. You want the feeling of being the kind of person who's working on it, but you don't want the actual work or the actual risk. So what's the fix? It's simple. Not easy. Simple. You have to stop being smart and start being brave. You have to take imperfect action instead of perfect planning. You have to open a brokerage account with money you can actually afford to lose and invest it. Not tomorrow. Not next month. This week. You have to start that side hustle even though it might fail. You have to risk being wrong because the cost of being right is too high to ignore. The smartest people in the world aren't the ones who know the most. They're the ones who act on what they know, while everyone else is still researching. They're comfortable with being wrong, because they know wrong is just data. You're smart. That's your advantage and your excuse. Use it as an advantage. Stop using it as permission to delay. The information is free. The time to start is now. Not because you'll be ready. You won't be. But because being imperfect and in motion beats being perfect and still. So here's my question for you. Are you going to stay smart and broke, collecting information like it's a substitute for action? Or are you finally going to do something about it? You already know the answer. The only question is whether you're willing to live with it.